Since I released my first conspiracy video on Paul McCartney 3 months ago, I've already received 957 comments on these 3 videos. Although there are some supportive and encouraging words, I have been called some of the worst names I have ever heard of. Why is this subject so controversial? I think it is because people love the Beatles with great passion. If the new Paul is not the real Paul, it will be a terrible betrayal. But for people loving and believing in the new Paul, any suspicion on the now Paul is viewed as an attack and insult. With so much of a cloud over Paul's identity, I think we should revisit this subject. And although I may be too young to be a Beatles fan, I love their music and admire their talent. I think our love and respect for Paul McCartney is the driving force for the truth in this matter. Can you imagine not doing something so important to clear the name of someone you love? Can you allow an imposter to take his place? If you tell anyone that you think Paul McCartney is dead, they may throw at you 3 impossible to answer questions. Number 1, how can anyone sing like Paul? We all agree that Paul is a great singer, but let me show you some short clips. Do you know who the singer is? In Jurassic Park, scary in the dark, I'm so scared that I'll be eaten. How about this? I am down, and oh, my soul so weary. For the ones still not convinced, let me show you another clip. Do you know who she is? How about this clip? This was taken in a 2007 concert. Will you believe me if I tell you that you were actually looking at 2 different people? Now look at this clip. You can see a rare switch by her double caught on camera. You may say that fans in a crowded concert can be fooled, but not so easy if you try to fool recording studios. Believe it or not, in 2009, Wired Italia magazine decided to do an in-depth analysis on Paul before 1966 and after, so they can put all the rumors to rest. What they found shocked the world. They found so much evidence in pictures, such as the face, eyes, height, and voice. They concluded that the new Paul is definitely not the original Paul. To me, the most convincing part is the shape of the ears and the height difference. Paul was a productive, unbelievable musician before 1966. And while Paul, after 1966, seemed like a musician on steroids, he produced many more hit songs, won lots of awards, and had many sellout packed concerts year after year. But do you think the songs are at the same level as his earlier hits? List the 10 best Paul McCartney songs and see how many were written after 1966. Personally, I think the newer songs are great, but they are not the soul-searching melodies before 1966. Plus, don't forget Lennon was with him till the breakup of 1970, and there were some unfinished works from prior to 1966. And at that time, Paul could sing in a phone booth and still sell albums. Do you remember how eagerly people waited for the next Michael Jackson song? Or Madonna's new style? Anyone in Paul's shoes can dance like Paul, sing like Paul, and write like Paul. Well, people are so hungry for him, they won't mind a few missed little details. Then the next question is, if the now Paul is really a fake, how come no one close to him ever said anything? Well, have you listened to George Harrison's confession tape? Of course, people said it is a fake, but it does sound like him. How about Ringo Starr's interview? Have you heard the rumor about he married Heather Mills without a prenuptial, just to buy her silence? Think this way. There is no better way to transfer a gigantic sum of money to someone without raising suspicion and with no tax consequences. How much did the marriage cost him? $50 million? But how about his family? His father, brother, and girlfriend? I can't imagine anyone would allow an imposter walking into their lives like that willingly. Well, maybe that is the clue. Maybe it wasn't done willingly. Did you know Paul did not even attend his own father's funeral? Maybe there are too many family members there that would have blown the cover open. But that still sounds crazy, but if Paul committed suicide, then his family may not be entitled to any life insurance payoff. Maybe that can be a motive? Or maybe they wanted to protect Paul's reputation if Paul was high on drugs during the car crash. If I were his father, I probably will cooperate if I can save my son's image, right? Please remember the plan to replace Paul was only meant to be temporary. But like a popular soap opera with no end in sight, the show has continued till this day. But if you took the wrong path and passed the point of no return, there is no way to turn back. But if everything above were true, how can anyone prove the now Paul is not the old Paul? For that, I have a great idea. Paul McCartney supposedly fathered Bettina in 1962 and Philip in 1964. His lawyer paid child support settlements on both cases. Since Bettina already went through 2 no-match blood tests with the now Paul, if Philip and Bettina were to do a blood test together, then see if they share the same father, it would be the end of all the rumors. Like I said, we are not putting Mr. McCartney on trial. We just want to know the truth. This is Ken Peters. Thank you for watching.